Growing concern about Ferrari's 2026 engine. We are going to talk about this in this video because the new regulations are just around the corner and so far the information isn't good. Hello Resaka motor friend, I'm Matheus Pucci, and in this video we'll discuss the Ferrari 2026 engine. We have an entire playlist just about 2026, you can check it out here on the channel. And adding to this playlist, so let's talk about what has been a big mystery. After all, does Ferrari have a good engine or not, and are they on the right track for next season or not? According to the articles that have come out, and you can always check the sources in the description, Ferrari's 2026 engine hasn't been tested yet, at least not so far. In late October and early November, this causes some unease in Maranello. Leo Turini says Ferrari hasn't tested its engine on the dynamometer, causing uneasiness. And there are only about 2 months left for approval. It requires that all engines be approved by January, and Ferrari is racing against time to finish development and carry out the necessary tests. But there's a big problem. There was an exodus of talent in the engines and aerodynamics department. In fact, we even made a video talking about that as well. If you haven't seen it, take a look at how Ferrari took a big hit. And here we have, for example, the main names, Wolf Zimmermann, Lars Schmidt, and Diego Tondi. These names are important in areas that are crucial for the 2026 regulations, and they're simply leaving Ferrari. Some have already left. They're already leaving Ferrari precisely to strengthen rival teams. Mattia Binotto has a major influence here. Mattia Binotto, for those who don't know, was part of Ferrari's engine division for many years, even leading Ferrari's engine division for many years. And there are some claims that this loss for Ferrari regarding the departure of employees is the result of Binotto's actions, who is now leading Audi's project. And it's speculated that he convinced Zimmermann and Schmidt to join him in this new venture. In fact, there are future speculations about new departures that may happen after these two names leave, with Ferrari's situation remaining unstable and the possibility of key professionals leaving the Maranello team. We've discussed several times on the channel that Ferrari no longer attracts big names. The big names want to go to the teams based in England, largely because of Ferrari's culture. A very difficult and complex culture to deal with. We know that energy management of these 2026 engines will be crucial for success. The electric power will represent about 50% of what we will see, of the total. The motor generator unit kinetic has basically been tripled, especially with the removal of the motor generator unit heat. The battery capacity will be significantly increased to support this new, more powerful electric system. Teams that master this early will have an advantage. That's what frustrates us about Ferrari, right? But there are also some tricky tracks like Monaco and Singapore, where the Fédération Internationale de l'Automobile revealed that these circuits would be too dangerous to operate at full power. So, there will be a power limitation to ensure the driver's safety, due to the high speeds they can reach in certain sections. For example, you have that chicane at the exit of the Monaco tunnel to prevent them from going too fast into the next corner. This is a safety measure Formula One has pursued for some time, and this way of limiting, according to the circuit, is not exclusive. You have a pretty interesting chart with the following. Some tracks, as you can see there, Suzuka, Miami, Spa, will have a certain limit. Technical tracks will have another. Jeddah will have its own setup, while Monza should also have its own setup, since they're very atypical tracks, very out of the ordinary. Of course, the table needs to be updated and the Fédération Internationale de l'Automobile is still making changes. These are things the Fédération Internationale de l'Automobile is still deciding, but you can see that, yes. There is a concern about setting the ideal energy configuration for each track, so you don't have any kind of problem, whether it's being too fast or too slow. Another thing we will have is active aerodynamics, which directly influences the engine issue, especially since active aerodynamics is a consequence of the engine regulations. The cars will have then, in active aerodynamics, the front and rear flaps that can be opened, and the override mode or power boost will be it will replace drag reduction system as an overtaking aid element. It will be used in the same way as the 1 second gap to the opponent. And there should be one activation point per track, which I think is too little, okay? Are those the activation points on the right? Nicolas Tombazes from the Fédération Internationale de l'Automobile says this is being adjusted with the drivers in the simulator. There is both agreement and differences with the drag reduction system. We shouldn't make overtaking too easy or hard. They should focus on making overtaking feel organic, right? But that's okay, that's separate. But after all this context, for you, what does Ferrari have to do with all this, besides the departure of the professionals? And do you understand the complexity of what's coming? In terms of energy, Charles Leclerc said he's excited about what's coming. A lot of work is happening behind the scenes, and each week they find impressive gains. Obviously, he can't go into detail about what those gains are, but he's excited about what's coming. So Leclerc, he has this speech like, the gains are good, we're doing well in the simulator, things are looking good. After saying he wasn't enjoying it, he's now changing his mind. And maybe Ferrari is actually finding something which is interesting. We have to remember that these cars will be smaller, lighter, and will have active aerodynamics. So all of that changes the way the driver will handle the car. They will have more responsibilities inside the cockpit. The increase in electric power and this complexity of management will give the drivers more responsibility. They will be able to influence performance not only through skill, but also in terms of energy management, which I personally don't like. Charles Leclerc says, we're all used to driving and making a difference with our skills. I think driving has reached a very high level now, and it's obviously getting harder and harder to make a difference. But it's still possible, which is what I like most. It's also challenging to adapt to these new issues and gain a competitive advantage from them. I realized sooner than others that I'd prefer to focus on driving, but that's not possible. I also find it interesting to try mastering it before others. So, the driver will indeed have this role in management. He will have to readapt to the new Formula One, and this could lead to some interesting results. Leclerc says the first to master it will have the advantage. At first, Ferrari would be making an innovative intake system. It would be revolutionary, ultra secret. Motorsport Italy reports the team is developing this innovative system, but a proposal developed by Zimmermann, who is leaving the team, was discarded. It would be on the steel cylinder head, but it was raising concerns about reliability. The time lost in switching between designs left Ferrari playing catch-up compared to Mercedes. Honda wouldn't be far behind in development either, which means Ferrari ended up hurting themselves in this game. In fact, we have to say that Mercedes is the favorite, as we've mentioned countless times, and according to reports, they really are ahead or well ahead, even exceeding 1,000 horsepower, as we mentioned in a recent video. The key point in all of this is that it seems only Mercedes is on the right track, while all the others are facing serious problems. So Ferrari would be among those who are having problems, including with the departure of these more technical people and also with the change in designs, with the change in focus. It's interesting that we have even less information from Ferrari than from the others. Ferrari is never mentioned among the strengths in these rumors. It's that thing before preseason, they'll say that Ferrari is a second faster than everyone else. But what is the real situation with this engine, since Ferrari focused a lot on 2025 to save Federico Vasse's job? That's the million-dollar question, and we'll have to wait for the cars on the track to clear up this doubt. What are your thoughts and expectations for Ferrari next year? Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Check out the other videos and also join our partners.